everyone. My name is Anna. I am a wife of an addict in recovery, and I am recovering myself from codependency. I felt like I wanted to come on today and talk about particular advice that I received from an extremely amazing individual. His name is Chris Alder. Chris Alder helped me out immensely when I was in the midst of addiction with Mitchell. And I felt like I really wanted to share this advice with all of you because it did help me push through the hard, the uncomfortable, the struggle, and the pain. Hi, Francis. Before I express this too, I just want everyone to know, hey, Jess, I just want everyone to know that Chris Alder has an amazing podcast with another amazing human being called Shane Bright, and it's called The Voices of Recovery. It is a podcast. Again, that's The Voices of Recovery. We actually did a podcast. Hey, Joelle! We actually did a podcast with Chris and Shane, and they were the ones that actually helped us create a spark for We Are Recovery, because after we did that podcast, we kind of realized, I don't think there's anything kind of bridging the gap between the addict and the family, and that's why Mitchell and I created We Are. But I really wanted to talk about a piece of advice that Chris Alder gave to me that was huge. And now, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of things that Chris expressed that was huge and really helped. But I want the families to really know this today. When I was in the midst of addiction with Mitchell, it felt like, and didn't feel like it was, every single day, every waking moment, minute just felt like the addiction. Every second just felt like fear. I didn't know what the next second was going to bring. I remember calling Chris that day, very upset, and expressing to him that I believed Mitchell was relapsing again and he wasn't doing anything. I want families out here to know. I know we don't want to hold those hard boundaries because boundaries are not easy. They're extremely difficult. They're extremely hard. But they're needed. I know a mom or a father doesn't want to tell their son and daughter, hey, I can't pay your rent anymore, or your groceries, or for your gas because you're using. I know that's incredibly hard. I do know, though, that what happens is if our loved one still has their family around them, their friends, their job, the money, the house, and things are being paid for, we have to remember addiction is hard. It really physically changes the brain. It makes the brain unhealthy, sick. When someone is looking at this and we're enabling, it doesn't get them to the sense of life is unmanageable. Things are hurting. And one of the things that Chris Alder said to me is, Anna, any addict I have ever spoken to, any addict that is in recovery that I have spoke to, there has always been families holding very hard boundaries. I want you guys to hear that again. Chris Alder said, out of all the addicts he have ever spoken of that are in recovery, every single one has had family members holding hard boundaries. And I will tell you, I have seen exactly the same. I know family members that are out there. I know that pain. I know that hurt. I know that struggle. I know holding those boundaries are extremely hard. We don't want to look at our loved one and say, because you've used, I can't spend time with you. I have to go do me. Because you're drinking and using, you can't see the kids. You need to be in recovery. Because you're using and you're in the midst of addiction, you're not welcome here. Well, I'll be homeless. I don't know what to tell you. We don't want to do those things because they are hard. They hurt. We have to face our own anxiety, our own pain, our own struggle. We don't want to do those things. However, like Chris Alder expressed, and I can tell you he's extremely right, with all the people that I've worked with within recovery, There's always been family members holding those extreme, hard boundaries. We are not the reason why they choose recovery. But I can tell you, when families hold those hard boundaries, there's actually a chance and a possibility that our loved ones will and can find recovery. But if we continue to enable, and we do pay the bills, we do welcome in when they're using and they're high, we do let them around the kids even if they're using, we do let our significant other sleep in the same room with us, share the same conversations with us. What that does is, if Mitchell was here, I know he would tell you this, is all it does is, I didn't see a problem, Anna. I did not see a problem, even if every single one of the people in my life did. Why? Because I still had my friends. I still had my family. I still had you. I still had my job. I still had money coming in. I still had a roof over my head. What was there to show me that the way I was perceiving the world was sick? And again, I'm not saying it's our responsibility in which we need to do things. In all honesty, it's actually really for you. Because I know once you hold these hard boundaries, sure, your loved ones have the possibility and chance of getting recovery. But God, so do you. I know people don't want to hear it, and it's the same thing that I expressed last night in another post. The way we help our loved ones is by stop focusing completely on them, or what I mean is the addiction, and focus on you. What does that mean? Holding hard boundaries so you don't have to go back into the insanity, that you start recognizing peace. You do start distancing yourself from the addict. And what I really see in that is the true individual gets the strength and goes, you know what? I can see a little bit clearer right now. What's going on? Why are my loved ones distancing me? Why have I lost my job? Why aren't people paying? Oh my God, I really do have to choose now? I will tell you, and Chris Alder, I want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And I do think this is going to be things that I come on from time to time and just express what was that amazing advice that people told me. And now here's the thing. Advice is knowledge from other people. I could have taken that knowledge that Chris Alder gave me, Jared gave me, Chris Avery gave me, Laura gave me, my support gave me, and I could have put it right up on a shelf. I might have, to be completely honest, I might have for a month or two and then pulled it off the shelf. Still need our processing. However, I didn't let it stay up there, and I used it. And when Chris Alder told me that day when I was really upset, and again, there is other advice that he told me in that conversation, but I want to keep just this one piece to this video, and we can talk about more another day. Again, guys, he noticed that addicts in recovery didn't find recovery because people were continuously enabling. They found recovery and made the choice for them because family members held hard boundaries. And it's hard. Because we as family members have to face our fears, our pains, our struggles, our hurts. But like I've stated before, guys, and this is the truth, if I never said no more to the addict that day when I packed up all my things and moved up to Massachusetts, I can promise you one thing. I never, ever would have had the possibility of saying hello to Mitchell again. It was holding that hard boundaries and detaching from the addict and recognizing it wasn't Mitchell in front of me, and it hasn't been for a long time, and holding the hard boundaries to the addict and saying no more. That helped me, that saved me, and that allowed Mitchell time to process and recognize, why isn't my family coming over anymore? Why is Anna gone and she's not coming back? Why am I in an empty house? Why do I not have my job anymore? What's going on in my life? And that made him question if he wanted to live or if he wanted to die. I didn't make that choice for Mitchell. Mitchell chose. Mitchell chose life, and he fought for it. That was his third time. After that, he went his third time into rehab, into residential, and then did outpatient. But everyone around him held hard boundaries. So family members that are listening today, if you're struggling and you're hurting to hold that hard boundary and saying, no, you can't come over if you're using. No, you can't be around the kids if you're here. No, I can't communicate with you if you come in high or drunk. Parents out there, no, I love you, but I can't pay for your groceries if you're going to keep using. We have to start holding those hard boundaries because your life depends on it. And to be completely honest, so does your loved ones. Do this for you today. And as always, I am here for you guys. Reach out if you ever need to. And Chris Alder, if you watch this, thank you again for all the advice, all the support, and all the brutal truth that you gave me because I needed it. And I will tell people on here, if you're looking for an amazing podcast, I will tell you they were a part of my recovery. It allowed me to see the perception and the perspective of the addict's mind. Chris Alder and Shane Bright are amazing human beings. They helped out Mitchell and they helped out me. But that podcast really gave me insight and it gave me hope. So if you'd like, head over to The Voices Recovery, listen to their podcast. I actually will, by tonight, I'll post again the podcast that they had us on to do, which was, God, I think it was almost 3 years ago now. Wow. That'll actually be interesting if Mitchell and I sit down and listen to it again to see how much we've changed, see if, the recovery's been put in. But again, thank you guys as always. You are part of our support system. That's why this page is called We Are Recovery. We don't do it alone. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow or in the next couple of days. Everyone have a great day. Hold those hard boundaries. You can do it. Take care.